Hello everyone, Nadia here with Inner Journey Astrology. So good to be back with all of you. I haven't been as active here on YouTube as I had been previously. I had a lot going on in the month of October with traveling and then recently dealing with some illness. I'm not going to get into all of that, but I'm feeling much better now, and it actually was probably a good thing in a lot of ways and caused me to take some time for me and to slow down some and to create some space for myself and to integrate a lot of things. So I'm really trying to look at all of the good that came out of that. So I'm back. I'm feeling really good. I'm happy to be back here with you today. And so today's video is going to be mostly focused on the upcoming last quarter moon phase that's taking place this weekend. So today is Friday. And we experience the last quarter moon phase on Sunday this weekend, and that will actually take place in the zodiac sign of Leo. So that's going to be a little bit different from the energy we've been experiencing with the moon in Cancer these last several days. The sun's still in Scorpio, so we've been experiencing a lot of intense and just really maybe almost dense, for some of us might describe it that way. But intense energy with all of this watery fluid energy going on. Scorpio season just has a intensity all its own, and then that's been coupled the last several days with the moon in Cancer, and so that can be really intense, and that can be a time where things are feeling really emotional. Intuition is likely heightened, so there's probably been a lot surfacing and going on for many of us. And so this Leo last quarter moon is probably going to feel like a really nice break from all of that in a lot of ways for a lot of us. So I'm going to touch on that a bit more. The last quarter phase marks the final roughly week of the current lunar cycle. So we experience the new moon in Scorpio on the 15th. So that will be 1 week after this last quarter phase. So the last quarter, as I said, that's about the final week of the current lunar cycle. Things are starting to wrap up with the cycle that we're in, and we're going to be shifting into a new lunar cycle soon on the 15th, as I said. So with the last quarter phase, that's typically a time for release and just maybe more profound release. Once the full moon hits and then we start moving into the waning gibbous and then the last quarter and waning crescent phases, that's all a period for release. But the last quarter really just kind of is a significant time for really maybe taking a step back, creating more space for yourself as you feel is necessary, and really just evaluating kind of what's going on with you, what you're feeling, what's been happening for you, maybe even looking back at the intentions that you might have set for this current lunar cycle and just seeing how those are starting to take form or maybe not in your reality, and just starting to let go of anything that it's time to let go of. So that's typically what the last quarter phase really represents. And with it being in Leo, though, it's going to provide some maybe much needed lightness. Leo is one of the fire signs of the zodiac, a very outgoing sign, very bold, very passionate, very enthusiastic. So there's a lot of really good qualities that come with that Leo energy. And it's a really good time at this last quarter phase to go within and really feel as to what on the inside you're feeling passionate about right now. What are your passions within, indicating that you need to maybe spend some time with or focus on or begin cultivating. And that's a really good thing to start feeling into and looking at anyway, as we are wrapping up this current lunar cycle before we move into the new lunar cycle on the 15th, just to start getting some things turning maybe in your mind and in your heart and what you're feeling as far as maybe what you want to start focusing on in the next lunar cycle. Maybe there's something that's been there below the surface that has been coming up, and you're feeling that passion and you're feeling that inspiration, but you haven't really acted on it yet. Maybe you've had to wrap up some other things, or it just hasn't felt like the right time. So this last quarter phase might start bringing some things up, since it's in Leo, bringing some things up that maybe it's time for you to start thinking about more fully and bringing into greater capacity in your life, in your reality. And a good way to release is to really just focus on what is feeling good and what is going to serve you moving forward and what you want to direct your energy and your focus towards. So many times when we say release, we in our minds start thinking, oh, what do I need to let go of? What is it time to, move out of my life? And we focus almost so much on what it is we're letting go of that we get caught up in what we're letting go of and we don't let go of it. And we just stay in this cycle of, oh, I need to let go of this, but it's hard and it's difficult and there's, a lot of work to be done to do that. And so instead of making it difficult on ourselves, we can actually start to just focus on what does feel good, on what is going to serve us, on what we do want to put our energy into moving forward. And as we direct our energy in that way, that really helps us to release things that aren't serving us because we're no longer directing our focus or our energy toward them and not feeding those and keeping those timelines and those things alive anymore. So maybe that will resonate with some of you, especially if release is something that feels dense or feels difficult or feels like just impossible. Maybe instead of like really working to actually release and let something go, which actually can create more resistance for some of us depending on how we look at it, we can just start looking at what we can direct our energy toward and what does feel good and what we are passionate about and what we are being called to do or pulled to do. So maybe that will resonate. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. I always tend to say that in these videos because, as I've said before, we're all on different paths and have different timelines that we've activated and different things going on in our lives. And also we have our own unique natal chart makeup, and that influences things a lot in different ways as well, both in our inner experience and in our outer reality. So like I said, take what resonates, leave the rest. But yes, just really as much as you need to, as much as you feel you need to, create that space to start going within, to release in whatever way resonates with you to do so, and just to really start to focus on what feels good. We are going to be, in the next couple weeks moving into Sagittarius season, and that is going to bring a lot of really light and bright energy forward, especially after we've been in this more intense and dense Scorpio season. So it is a time, as we move into this new lunar cycle on the 15th, just days after that, we'll be moving into Sagittarius season. There's going to be more energetic shifts, a lot of things happening, and hopefully feeling lighter anyway. So this is a good time to start at this last quarter phase, just really starting to feel into that even more. Your fiery energy, your passions, your inspirations, what feels good to you, what are you feeling called to do? And as we're moving into the later part of the year, anyhow, I think that's also something good. A lot of us, we're starting to spend more time inside. We're starting to go more within anyway, depending on exactly where we live and the climate or the weather and what things are like. It might be getting colder, and the season might just not be as conducive to spending so much time outside and being as active maybe socially or doing other activities. And so as we're slowing down in that way, we can start to really go within and activate that inner fire and those inner passions and give us something to hone our energy and direct our energy on during these months where we start going more within. And that can help keep us more vibrant and feeling more lively too. So I think that's also something good to think about and keep in mind as we are moving into the later months of the year, and for many of us later into the fall and the winter season, depending on where we live. So I hope you're all doing so well. I appreciate you being here and tuning in with me today. Like I said, I'm so happy to be back. Also, I just want to touch on really quickly, today I've also released the most recent edition of my new and full moon e-workbook. I release that monthly, a new copy for each new lunar cycle. So this most recent one that I just released is actually initiating with the new moon in Scorpio on the 15th. And then there is also going to be a section for the full moon just a couple weeks after that. Later, I think it's November 30th. It's the very end of the month. We have that full moon. So for the new moon in Scorpio on the 15th and the full moon in Gemini on the 30th, that's what that workbook will be relevant for. And it's a special eclipse edition because that full moon in Gemini is also coinciding with the lunar eclipse. So that's really exciting and a really powerful time. Both this new and full moon are going to be really powerful in many ways with the Scorpio and Gemini energy and then that lunar eclipse. So if that's something that interests you or that you want to learn more about, hit the link in my website. I've included in the description box here. So you can just go to that link in my website, and then from the drop-down menu, if you select moon workbooks, you'll be able to learn more about those and get more details. I do have one-time copy options and 3-month subscription options. So if you do the 3-month subscription, you can actually get 3 workbooks for the price of 2. So you actually will save a little bit of money if that's something you think you want to do and try out for a couple months. But it's just really a tool for you to go more within and create space for yourself around the new and the full moon each month to really just have that time to go within you and really tune into your own intuition and inner being and feel your way through your own energy surrounding the new and the full moon each month. So it's not anything that tells you what to do or how to feel, but it's actually a way for you to go within and really just tune into more of what's there and what's available for you. It's a tool. So like I said, link in my bio or link below for my website, not in my bio, sorry, that's Instagram. But yeah, link in my bio if that's something that you're interested in, or feel free to send me an email. That link is also in the description box if you have any questions or just any comments, feedback, whatever. I love to hear from all of you, whether it's workbook related or not. So like I said, so happy to be back with you. I hope you're all doing so well. I'm sending you so much light, so much love as always. And yeah, I'll be back in touch with you soon. So take care, friends, and have a great weekend.